next book I'm going to talk about today is called Toot and Puddle by Holly Hobby. This book is about two pigs that live in Woodcock Pocket, and they're very different from each other. One loves to travel, that's Toot, and one loves to stay home, and that's Puddle. This book goes into details about Toot's travels across the entire globe and Puddle's adventures right at home. It's awesome that the two get to stay in contact, and they do this by sending postcards. That could be really cool for students to see because it's a different type of reading. On each page there are little postcards that Toot sends to Puddle, as you can see here, and they come from all over the globe. That could be another way that this book ties into school. You could lead it into social studies and talk about different countries around the world, or you could just talk about travel in general. Maybe involve the students in where they have been. You could do a writing activity on it, or even just a share with your partner kind of thing. I would say that this book would be good for grades pre-kindergarten to second grade. It teaches that it's okay to have friends that are different than you, as we can see throughout the book, the differences between both Toot and Puddle. I would consider this book to be a fable because it has talking animals and it also teaches a lesson. However, it is fiction too. This is a good book for any grades between pre-K and second, like I said, because the pictures tell a lot of the story. They show the travels that Toot goes on, and they show the adventures that Puddle has at home. I think this is great because there aren't many words on each page, so it won't intimidate even the slowest of readers. Let's take a look inside. One of the passages, as I already explained, explains how one likes to travel and one pig likes to stay home. It says, "It was such a perfect place to be that Puddle never wanted to go anywhere else." Toot, on the other hand, loved to take trips. He had been to Cape Cod, the Grand Canyon, and even the redwood forests. One day in January, Toot decided to set off on his biggest trip ever. He decided to see the world. "Do you want to come along?" he asked Puddle. "We could start with someplace warm and wild." Puddle preferred to stay home. I like this page because it shows how Puddle likes to be at home, whether he's sitting on his couch or going outside to play in the woods and the snow. This book also is great because it goes through every season, winter, spring, summer, and fall. And that's great if you want to incorporate that with the younger grades and talk about each season. Puddle, the pig that stays home, does different activities throughout the season. As you can see on this page, Puddle is holding his skates. As the months passed, Toot and Puddle send postcards back and forth. This one says, "Dear Puddle, help! Mountain climbing is scarier than jumping out of a plane. Remember when I talked you into going parachuting? Your friend in the Alps, Toot." Puddle remembered. This is another example that shows the differences among the friends, and how Toot had to talk Puddle into going parachuting, but that they ended up having a great time, and now it's a memory that they share together. It's okay to be different, as this book continues to demonstrate to us. Another postcard from Toot comes from the South Pole. "Dear Puddle, August is cold in Antarctica, but I've made more friends here than anywhere yet. Are you going to the beach this year? I miss you. Do you miss me? Friends forever, Toot." This postcard is excellent because although he is in Antarctica all the way across the world, and Puddle is at home in Woodcock Pocket, they're still managing to stay in touch and be, as Toot says, friends forever. This is great to show that long-distance friendships are equally as effective as at home as close friendships. This is the picture from Antarctica. As we get to the end of the book, Toot finally comes home. December called for celebration. "Here's to all your adventures around the world," said Puddle. "Here's to all your ventures right at home," said Toot. "And here's to being together again," Toot and Puddle said at the same time. So as you can see, this book appeals to both boys and girls and teaches many underlying messages. As I stated earlier, that long-distance friendships are also excellent and equally as beneficial. It's okay to be different than your friends. And as I said, it can lead into teaching into social studies. It could lead into teaching about travel or even the seasons. I would definitely recommend this book. Another note is that this book is actually, this author has multiple Toot and Puddle books. I wouldn't say they're all about Toot's travels, but they all demonstrate friendship between the two pigs, and I would definitely recommend them.